Hey, what's up everybody? This is Coach Mike with Elite Performance and welcome to my channel. I'm doing this video today because I want to address something that I'm seeing a lot of in my practice. I'm getting this question a whole lot. It actually started about a year ago. And I'm writing a book and I'm going to address this in the book, but the question is just keep coming up. Like yesterday in my practice, I had this question pop up 4 times in consultations with 4 different clients. So it's just something that I think that I should address now in some fashion. Like I said, I'm going to be more in depth when in the book, but I'm going to give some answers. And what I'm going to talk about is just the vegan lifestyle. And why do I want to do a video about being vegan? Because 100% across the board, and I've probably had 500 consultations about this over the past few years, there are certain things about that lifestyle that anyone needs to know and be educated about, and I guarantee 100% I've never got the right answers from anybody. So I want to do this video just to put out some information that, by and large, from what I see, most people have no clue about. All right, now, first, understand this. I have no agenda. I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you're a vegetarian. I don't care if you're a pescatarian. I don't care how you eat. As long as you're eating healthy and you're not eating chemicals, I could really care less. To be perfectly honest with you, if you're a vegan, I'm really cool with that because I'm not. And that means that it's more bacon for me. So I have no agenda. I'm not trying to lead you in any way. I'm just going to give you some facts, some truth to help you better in making decisions about how to live that lifestyle. Okay? So the 3 topics that I want to address. The first one is the 800-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to the vegan lifestyle, and that is protein. All right? And what I've found is that every time I ask a vegan, well, how are you going to get protein? They always go to plants and they say things like broccoli has more protein in it than chicken, and all of these things. And to a certain degree, these things are true. They're just incomplete. So let me fill in the blanks. Now, in order to fill in the blanks, the first thing that you really have to understand is what's a protein. So first, let's break a protein down to its lowest common denominator. Like if we take the protein apart, what is it? Well, proteins are made up of polypeptide chains. Polypeptide chains are made up of polypeptides. Polypeptides are made up of amino acids. Now we can keep going smaller and smaller and smaller and get subatomic and get into electrons and get really interesting, but for this video, we're going to stop at amino acids. Okay? So if you break a protein down to its smallest, it's an amino acid. Okay? There are 20 amino acids. 9 are essential, meaning that your body can't make those. You have to eat them. 11 are non-essential, which means just eat something. Your body can make those. Now there is a side note. There is another school of thought that gives this these are kind of essential but kind of not. But the pathophysiological pathways that it's not very common. Okay, what's common is there are 20, 9 are essential, 11 are not. This other subset, like I said, it exists, but it's 1 in a million. So I'm not going to address it. So 9 amino acids the body can't make, 11 amino acids the body can make. All right? Now, let's go back to proteins. If we're talking about proteins, you have 2 types. You have complete, you have incomplete. Complete proteins have all 9 of the essential amino acids that the body cannot make. Incomplete proteins do not. Now, incomplete means incomplete. Doesn't mean inferior, just incomplete. Now that you know what proteins are made of, and now that you know there are 2 subcategories, this is where it gets interesting. This is where everybody doesn't know this and they think protein. Now, protein is a generic term. It's a generic term, all right? You have about 20,000 genes in your body that are capable of producing about 2 million different types of proteins in the human body. In nature, in the universe, we don't even know how many proteins there are. All right? Now, proteins are not just about building muscle. All right? Protein is not just about how big your bicep is. If you don't have enough protein, well, first of all, it is about muscle, but it's not just about muscle. But your heart is a muscle. All right? That's first. Remember that. Your heart is a muscle. All right? So what you eat or what you don't, as far as building muscle, affects the heart. Without protein, you don't have blood. Without protein, you don't have enzymes. All right? Protein is extremely important in the human body. Okay? So we know that there are about 2 million different types of protein. We know they are complete and they are incomplete, and we know that proteins are made up of amino acids. All right. This is where the vegans are uninformed. Plant-based proteins, I don't care what plant you're talking about, are all 100% across the board incomplete. The only complete sources of protein that exist anywhere on Earth come from animals or seafood. That is it. There is no complete protein that is a plant. It doesn't exist. So if you don't know that and you're just eating plants and you're thinking, well, I'm getting protein because I'm getting this broccoli, you are creating deficiencies, all right? Because you're not getting all 9 of these amino acids. And those deficiencies over time will show up. Will you build muscle? Yeah, sure. But you're developing the deficiencies that are going to affect your blood, your heart, and your body's ability to make enzymes. So if you are adopting that lifestyle, it would be prudent for you to learn how to pair plant-based foods together to make complete proteins, because you need complete proteins every time you eat. One example of a complete protein is rice and beans. Now, unless you want to eat rice and beans on every meal, do a little bit of homework. That's the only one I know. I've never researched how to do a vegan diet. I'm not a vegan. I don't do vegan meal plans. Like I said, if that's what you want to do, do it. But just understand, if you want a complete protein, you have to learn how to pair them if you're going to be a vegan. So otherwise, you're creating massive deficiencies that are going to show up. It's not an if, it's a when. All right? The second thing that I hear a lot in my practice, all right, a lot of vegan dishes involve soy, all right, edamame, and also tofu, which is, all of that stuff is soy. It's soybeans in different forms and different stages. Well, if you live in America, here's the problem. Now, if you live outside of America, I don't know. But if you live in America, here's the problem. All soybeans in America are GMO. All of them. Now, GMO doesn't necessarily mean bad, okay? Because broccoli is GMO. Broccoli doesn't grow naturally. There's no place in nature that broccoli grows. It's GMO. It was cultivated, I think, in the 6th century BC, so long time ago. And I think it was Europe, Italy, somewhere over there, but broccoli is GMO. All right, so just because something is GMO doesn't make it bad. However, in the case of soybeans, it is bad. It's bad because the soybeans in America raise estrogen levels. All right, now everybody knows estrogen is a sex hormone, and it's predominantly a female sex hormone. But guys, we make estrogen too. And I don't really think anybody, any man, maybe, I don't know, wants to do anything that's going to raise their estrogen. For that fact, a woman shouldn't want to raise her estrogen because it's going to create hormonal imbalances. Your body knows what it needs. It knows what levels things need to be at. And so if you're eating any soy-based foods, you're raising your estrogen. So I would suggest removing all soy-based foods from your diet. Also, in a lot of vegan recipes, because they can't use eggs, because you can't use, things like that as binders, they use things like xanthan gum. Xanthan gum can be found in the grocery store. Go into the grocery store, go into the aisle where the seasonings are, and you'll find it. Xanthan gum is a chemical. It's made in a laboratory. It is not good for you at all. It is horribly dangerous. But it's one of the ingredients that, because like I said, you can't use eggs, you need a binder for certain things. So xanthan gum is what vegans use. I would recommend staying away from that. It's really unhealthy. The last thing that I see is I'll be counseling someone and it's like, okay, you want to be a vegan, where are you shopping? Now, if you're shopping at a grocery store, I don't care what grocery store it is, right? If it's a chain grocery store, now let me take that back. There is one that I'll put my stamp of approval on. But if you're shopping at a grocery store, then that grocery store buys their produce, fruits and vegetables, everything from commercial farmers. Commercial farming is the bad stuff, okay? The fact that you can walk into a grocery store, I don't care which one it is, all year long and buy a tomato should tell you something's wrong, because tomatoes don't grow all year. Neither does garlic, neither does this, neither does that. You shouldn't be able to buy this stuff all year long, right? So any grocery store, they're all bad. I don't care how good the names sound. You can put whatever earth or health or fancy word. It's a grocery store. It's commercial farming. Organic farming can't be done at that level. It's too big. It's too much. Not to mention that the USDA allows the people who make your food or distribute your food to put organic stamps on something if it's 80% organic. That doesn't make sense, right? By definition, organic means toxin-free. So there's no 80%. It either is or it isn't. So if you're going into these grocery stores and you're saying, well, I'm buying this and it says organic, it's not. It can't be. An organic farm just can't handle this much. It's too much. An organic farm couldn't keep up. So if you're in a grocery store, you need to get out the grocery stores. You need to be shopping at farmers markets. Farmers markets, because vegan, so you're not eating any kind of meats or anything like that. But get to the farmers markets, all right? So get to the farmers markets, avoid the soy, and find ways of pairing your proteins together so that you can ensure that you're getting complete proteins and that you're not going to face any deficiencies. All right. As always, I'm Coach Mike with Elite Performance, and we want to